Alright, what's going on, guys? We are back for episode 9 of the prep series. We're now doing twice weekly uploads, so you'll see me a little bit more often. I'll be able to push out a little bit more content for you as well. Today, we've got our secondary push day, so it's a bit more of a shoulder focus with chest, triceps as well. Today is an interesting day because earlier in the week, for whatever reason, well, not for whatever reason, there is a reason, I'll get into that in a second, but just kind of really feeling run down, beat up, very fatigued, I guess you could say. Now, so kind of sitting there scratching my head, I'm like, 50 minutes of cardio isn't that much. Food's not really that low. We're not on anything crazy in terms of stims or fat burners. There's nothing that should really be putting me in the dirt, basically, with energy and performance and everything. But the first 3 lifts of the week, the performance just kept getting worse and worse. Pumps weren't really there. They were fine. Overall, the earlier half of the week was shit. And so, I brought that up to my coach. We talked about it a little bit and kind of diagnosed the issue being in my training. Now, not that there's anything necessarily wrong with my training in terms of the results I'm going to get from it, but in terms of really fine tuning it and making it the best and most sustainable for me, we weren't really doing that. So this go around here and starting today now, we're going to be a bit more technical with my training and really focus on it's tough because the focus was always on the muscle specifically, but now it's going to be even more so really, really laser focus on the muscle and exhausting the muscle and not necessarily carrying over so much CNS fatigue. What does that mean, right? All that means really is, the load's going to get a little bit lighter. The tempo is going to be far more controlled and a lot more focus on technique and execution. Now, my technique and execution before was fine. I train with good form, good execution. All the reps look the same, very standard across the sets. Now, where the issue really has arisen, is that a word? Hopefully that's a word. Where the problem has popped up, basically, is kind of with the tempo. Now, my tempo, it would just kind of be whatever I wanted. And that allowed me to kind of put a heavier load on. Now, did that work for a while? Absolutely. Yeah. And it definitely works in an off-season setting. But in terms of, fatigue management and recovery being the main thing, it doesn't really work that well. So we're going to change the approach a little bit. Tempo is going to be, 2-3 second eccentrics, maybe definitely a slight pause, stopping the momentum, and then really focusing on the way up. Especially today, through chest, shoulders, triceps, all that, we're really going to focus on activating the muscle, really feeling it in the belly of the muscle, and trying not to put so much wear and tear on my entire body versus just the muscles that we're trying to train. Now, that's always kind of been the goal, but I haven't, put such high regard, in really focusing on it that much, I guess. It's going to be a small change for sure. It's not monumental, my training isn't being uprooted necessarily. We're just kind of bringing it a little bit better, and a little bit smarter, a little bit more technical, because right now the bottleneck is recovery, right? And everything else is in good standing. My sleep is fantastic. Sleep schedule's perfect. Like I said, the cardio's not that crazy. It's only 50 minutes. Food's not that low. And outside of, the training and the cardio, we just have to get a little bit of steps in, 12,000. And then after that, I can sit on my ass. There's really nothing that's pulling us too hard. So, boil it down, it's the training. And if we can free up a bottleneck here and open it up and, not hinder ourselves so much, maybe growing's kind of not really there, but we're not getting as tired as fast. Training sessions are a little bit better, performance is better, pumps are better, things like that. So that's the goal. Kind of rambling here, but long story short, training is going to improve, more technical, better execution, better tempo, better control, and therefore we're going to really annihilate the muscle and not so much our whole body every session. That's the goal. So we're going to go hit push. I'm going to get ready to go in here, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the gym and you'll see what I mean with changing things up. All right, so we're about to rip the third and final set. I do 3 working sets here. I like a little bit more direct lateral delt volume, so I rip into that. So far, so good. I am going to drop the weight on this last set. I'm not necessarily in the rep range that I really am the biggest fan of. The biggest it's definitely making me have to go down a little bit of weight, which was the goal. Like, that was the primary goal of what I'm trying to do, was allow myself not to use as heavy of a load and still get the same, if not better, stimulus from it. So this entire time, I'm really, really thinking about, like, in the entire movement, I've got my delt up, and I'm letting it come down, and I'm feeling the stretch and the pull throughout the entire side delt. I'm really just feeling it open, right? And in that stretch all throughout, I'm really squeezing on the way up and really feeling it from the knee. And that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And putting that immense focus and attention on the muscle makes it honest. It's not, I don't have to go as heavy, and I'm going to get the same out of it. However, the recovery that's necessary following that isn't as great, because I'm not loading this heavy. I'm not, I don't have to control that great of a load here at the words here, but basically, like, you're lifting heavier, you're putting more load just on your body, on your frame in general, versus, lightening it up and then really only focus on that side delt. And so when I get out of here, and let's say I just came in here and did side delts, but when I leave, I shouldn't feel sore or tired in any other part of my body except for my side delts if I only came in and trained side delts, right? And that's the goal. And that's not how I was leaving the gym. I was leaving the gym completely annihilated, head to toe, just completely battered down. And that was obviously hindering recovery. I was feeling like shit. And that was bleeding into the following training sessions, and it was a snowball effect. You gotta catch it now, get in a different groove, different rhythm, and approach training a little bit differently. So we're gonna get into the third and final set here. And then we're moving pec flies, which I'm excited for because, once again, new tempo there. Everything's gonna be revamped. We're kind of starting fresh here because I get a little ahead of myself. And whether that's the excitement from prep, whether that's, the trend, whatever it might be, right? I got ahead of myself. I was really just focused on heavy, trying to get really strong and for no reason, really. That's not the phase that we're in, right? This isn't like to really time to grow and get strong and whatever. We're honestly just trying to get shredded. So there's really no added benefit to just loading up a crazy stupid weight and increasing the risk of injury and hurting my recovery and my performance for really no gain. So I'm gonna be a little bit smarter, more calculated with my training and approach, and get more out of it, honestly. All right. So that's my thought process going in here. Let's execute. Those were wildly productive sets. Once again, I'm not completely fucking annihilated. Just the side delts. And that was the goal. So far, we're right on schedule here. Just smoking the muscle, nothing else. And let's keep that up and continue to progress the workout that way and see what kind of pump and see how we feel afterwards. All right. And keeping with the same focus from the previous sets, a lot of focus on the tension, specifically on the pec, really opening it up. Slight pause at the bottom or the end of the movement to break up any sort of momentum, about a 2 to 3 second eccentric, really just stretching the pec, putting a lot of focus on there and making sure that, my front delts, even to an extent my biceps, don't come into play at all. And really just taking the chest specifically to failure, putting a lot of focus on it and not allowing any real carryover fatigue. So we did a pretty good job with it with the lateral raises. Let's continue here into the pec flies. That was all in the pec. There was nothing else involved there. That felt great. Took a little bit of weight off from our previous session, about like 40 pounds or something, but we got one more rep and it definitely felt a lot better than it did in the past. So I think we're definitely going to keep with this training style. I mean, it's refreshing, it's nice, it feels really fucking good. And I mean, I'm going to keep saying this, and I mean, this is obviously the goal of what I'm doing right now, but I'm not wrecked. I feel good. But my chest would disagree with that. My delts would disagree with that. But everything else feels wonderful. So, you know, we're not digging ourselves into a hole that we can't get out of, but we are still keeping training intensity and focus very, very high on the muscles that we're trying to train, which is very important as we get depleted, because tomorrow is 9 weeks out. So we're getting into the nitty gritty, single digit weeks out as of tomorrow. Well, when you see this video, I'll be just under 9 weeks out, but for right now, tomorrow is 9 weeks out, which is exciting. A little over 2 months. So we're gonna lock in here, really focus on the training and making sure that we're not digging ourselves into a hole we can't get out of. And that's what's important. I kind of like this training style already. I mean, I'm only 2 exercises in on my first day, but I might jump the gun here and say that I might just change my training all around to benefit this. I mean, not like the split. I like my split currently, but like even continuing into the off season and everything like that. I mean, that's a whiles away, but this is fun. This is exciting, it's refreshing, and like I said, it fucking feels phenomenal. My chest is full as shit right now versus the other day, you know, not as much. Definitely a positive return here. Let's get into the second set. This one we're gonna do a rest pause here. I still wanna keep some intensifiers in. I think those are fine. I don't think those are gonna limit my recovery at all. At least not to the same extent as it was when I was really just overloading myself. So yeah, I mean, that's it. Let's get into it. Yeah, I mean, I've never felt anything like that. Holy shit. The stretch, like everything is just tearing. Feels good, like not like a bad tear. Like, I know the common person that might sound bad, but if you've ever done that, like you just, like your pec is just, bursting open like that. It's crazy. It feels so good. Yeah, that's amazing. Big fan of this. This is going to be productive, and this pump is going to be gnarly. Let's just say that. But that's it here for the pec fly. Let's continue on. Next up, I don't even know what I got. We have shoulder press. So that'll be an interesting one. My pressing movements have gotten a bit out of hand, and that's like pressing and like good rows and my squat patterns, I feel like, are the ones that are really causing the most issues. So this is one where we'll have to be a little bit more specific on really doing the same thing that we were doing here. Dial the weight down, control it throughout, really squeeze at the top, and put a lot of focus on the delts. Obviously a little bit of triceps, but I'll see you there. All right, so we've got shoulder press here. I do really like having wrist wraps here. Now I don't put them on very, very tight. I just like it for like cueing, like because when you're pressing, you really want to stack your joints. So you want your wrist right on top of your elbow. You're driving through, and for me, just having this the wrap here just kind of cues it in my brain of like, all right, keep that wrist straight and strong and really just punch through. And that's what I think about it, and it helps me, you know, move a little bit more. So definitely keep rocking these, but we're gonna get into shoulder press here. Staying true with everything else, reduction in weight, and really focusing on that stretch and honestly that squeeze. So staying true with everything else. I mean, that just feels great. Very, very difficult, but I like the feel of it. I like the connection with everything, and I can really feel the tension all throughout, which is really good. So definitely want to just continue with it. And yeah, I mean, let's get into our next set here. Yeah, I mean, that's fucking money. God damn. Front delts are absolutely juiced. I'm having a good lift here. This is the best lift all week by far. 2 sets here, so we just finished that up. Lateral raise machine next. Yes, more laterals. Gotta get these delts big as fuck. Let's get into it. All right, and now lateral raise machine here. Slightly different setup and stimulus and an overall feel than the cable was earlier. This one we're still going to do single arm because I just have a nice setup here and it feels really good. I played around with it for a quick second before I started recording again, just to fully get it right, fully get it on the money, right where I want it. Really light up the side delt. Let's do it. That was fucking awesome. That felt so good. Like right in the side delt. That was so good. Like there's really nothing like a 10 out of 10 training session. And that's what we're having today. I just love it. There's nothing better, honestly. There's nothing better than a 10 out of 10 training session. And the ability to drive, like using the straps here, just it takes grip out of it. And so you're literally using your arm as a lever. And so you're really able just to like essentially pull with your elbow and you're coming up. And I line myself up in such a manner that like it's not straight out to the side necessarily. It comes almost like out to the front a little bit. And then driving with that elbow and keeping my hand up. You know, like if you were to do that, like right now, if you do that and you put your arm up here, same as I do, and then you feel your side delt, it's gonna feel like a rock. That's exactly what you want. That means it's flex. That means it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's on, right? So that's the end plane of the movement for me, and it works. Feels great. All of the focus is on there. Once again, drop the weight a little bit from my previous session, but I feel like I'm just getting like 50% more out of every set. So to me, this seems like a no-brainer. I honestly don't know how I didn't think of this previously. Maybe because of, you know, I got, again, excitement from prep, I'm being stupid, whatever it might be, but we're fixing it now. So let's get into the other side. All right, so we'll switch up here. Back to the incline Smith. Now, this isn't my favorite Smith machine in the world, but I'd rather use a machine for incline than dumbbells or, you know, barbell or something like that. Just, you know, for the sake of what I'm trying to do here, I feel like it's better for me, better control. I just have to go a little bit lighter on this machine anyway, which is fine. You know, only 2 plates, nothing crazy. But again, same idea. Tempo matters. Weight, not really. That's what we're going after. So, when I get into this set, I'm using wraps. Yeah, I like how they feel. Again, I'm not wrapping too tight. I just like the cueing because again, I'm gonna stack the joints. So, let's get into it here. That's what I'd call failure. Fuck. That was a good set. I had to adjust midway through. Really keep the tension in the upper pec here. Not using a very big incline here. The way that it lines up with how the Smith machine is and everything like that, I find that the angle that gets created between a very slight incline and the angle of the Smith machine, it lines up perfectly with my upper pec and allows me to really like get a really good stretch and really drive through and squeeze the upper portion of my pec. So that's why I'm not using a crazy incline here. You know, dumbbells, I might go probably 1, maybe 2 notches higher, but it's just the combo of the angles here makes it perfect for my upper pec. Again, always very important to standardize your setup. I heard something today, your setup precedes your execution. And you know, that really resonated with me. I was watching a lot of YouTube earlier, me trying to dial in, hone in here on my training, you know, and really figure out how I should set it up, execute, get the most out of it. And setup precedes your execution. If your setup's all wrong, your execution's gonna be wrong. And that really stuck out to me as something to pay attention to. So yeah, that's why I took a little extra time here setting up certain things and making sure that it makes sense and getting it right. And it paid off because that set was badass as fuck. So we're gonna get into another one here. I'm gonna reset this and yeah. All right, we've got it reset here. We're gonna move into our second and final set, and hopefully, no, not hopefully, we will bring the same intensity to this one as we did the first one, and push it until you're stuck. All right, and that's what it takes. Those are great for a set. Let's match it, and then go hammer some triceps, and then we have one more chest movement as well, which I'm excited for. But right now, incline. Let's run it. And I did it again. Now, I didn't get the reps that I wanted. I think I was like 9 or something. I don't like to do anything really less than 10, but you know, it's all good. That was a badass set nonetheless. Same idea as the first one. Push until the end. We did just that. Wild connection through the upper pec. But now, triceps, we have an extension, like a regular extension, seated cable fly, and then overhead extension, potentially. Yeah, overhead extension. So let's start getting into those. So cable fly here. Yes, this is it is different than the pec deck, and the reason for that is because with the pec deck, I'm almost like hugging, right? Versus here, I'm coming back, but it's almost like a press. So like instead of coming around and squeezing across this way, I'm kind of coming through, like almost out, like or forward and squeezing this way. Not really getting a whole lot of tricep, if I'm being honest. Like it seems like I would, but I'm not. So again, instead of coming across, I'm kind of coming forward, but I'm still getting that squeeze. And I'm stretching and I'm powering through. And I'm almost thinking about like you have the bottom of your tricep here. I'm almost thinking about driving with that, if that makes sense. That's kind of the cue that I give myself. So I'm coming through almost an upward motion, but not really, because it's, you know, it's still straight. But I'm almost thinking about like scooping upwards, if that makes sense, of really squeezing through the pec. You'll see what I mean. Same tempo as always, and continuing the same training philosophy and really getting the most out of every set. So we dropped the weight a little bit here. Hopefully we don't have to drop it anymore. I only drop it like 10 pounds, so it's nothing crazy, but this one is usually something that I execute a lot of control with anyway, but we'll see how that goes. that one was fine. I'm gonna drop the weight again though. Felt great. Got a little bit more front delt than I wanted, so obviously we overshot with the weight. And that's okay. But hopefully you kind of got an idea of how I'm like really just driving through the chest. Now, yeah, like I do get a little bit of tricep, but primarily I'd say 90% of this movement is chest, and it feels great. So I'm gonna drop the weight and second set. All right, so we dropped the weight a little bit. Gotta get into our second set here, and then we got overhead extensions, and we'll check the pump. Hopefully we have no problems with this set. I think I put the weight at a reasonable spot. We'll see. That set was awesome. That felt way better. That was all on the pecs this time, no front delt, nothing else. I feel a really good squeeze like in the middle of my chest as well, which is good because right at like peak, you know, I can hold a pencil here if I wanted to. So that should be your goal, and that's what I'm shooting for. And you know, when I get in there, I can really just feel it, really squeeze, and that's a good feeling. So this is complete. Moving to next thing. Not much to go over here. This is easily my favorite movement of my push days. I love this movement a lot, and especially with this new approach to training, it's even better. So highly recommend a seated cable fly in your program. So I forgot to click record on my sets for the overhead extension. I get thrown off. The machine was taken, so I had to do it on the cables. Yeah, for some reason I'm very like, something throws off my order of operations, if you will. Like my brain freaks out, it goes haywire. So kind of lose my train of thought, and I'm like, you know, malfunction. Maybe that's what bodybuilding's given me. Anyways, let's check this pump out. I have a feeling that it's going to be pretty gnarly. Oh yeah, this is a good look. Oh yeah, we're looking nuts. Triceps actually feel really good today. They feel nice and full and pumped, unlike the other day. Very successful workout here. Pump is on point. We're feeling good. I'm happy with this look. Yeah, I mean, this new training style, on point. Let's get out of here. Let's get to the car. We're gonna go eat. All right, and we are, well, clearly back in the car. For a little post-lift recap, figure it's easier in the car, a little less background noise and shit. And yeah, we're sitting down, it's easier to talk. So it's the same push days I always run, but definitely having that more technical approach and the more intent behind honestly, every rep, and then obviously every set. But I like that approach much more. I felt a better connection. Yeah, like I don't feel completely annihilated. My muscles, on the other hand, I don't think I could do a push-up right now, but chest, delts, triceps, wrecked. Everything else feels great. You know, I don't feel like taking a nap after my training, which is good, because that's definitely how I felt in the beginning half of the week. And I was just beating myself down beating myself down. And, it finally caught up to me and I was like, what the hell? I thought for a second prep was getting hard. I almost succumbed to it, but nope, it was just we needed to fix the training and take a rest day. Yesterday was a rest day and that was a godsend. You need to stop wasting your rest days, man. Rest days are so important. I beat the shit out of myself for the first half of the week, got with my coach, made up a game plan so we're not just killing ourselves every day. And then I took a rest day, come back better than ever. So rest days are vitally important, especially in prep, but at any point in your year, rest days are very, very important. So don't take them for granted. Utilize them. Get your steps in. If you do cardio on rest days, do your cardio. Other than that, rest, recover, sit the fuck down, None of this like active rest shit, whatever. You can do mobility and you can get your steps in or whatever, but fuck, other than that, man, just sit down, rest and recover. And really allow yourself to be recovered for your next training session, and mentally recover and physically recover. Because those two things don't happen at the same time. Well, they do. They happen simultaneously, but they're not like completed at the same time, if that makes sense, right? So sometimes you'll be fired up mentally to go train before you're physically ready, or sometimes vice versa, right? So it's vitally important that you make sure that you make the most out of your rest days so that, when it's time to train again, you are 100% ready and on. And you can give your all to that set. So that's my little TED talk. Not much else to say. Training session was badass. Pump was ridiculous, as you could see. But I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna get my meal in. Still rocking the tilapia because that shit's fire. I'll have an update out in a couple days with my check-in, basically. Just how the week has gone and the difference week to week. There'll be two. There will be a reel and a post. The post will just be my typical check-in post. You'll see all my shots, and then there will be a follow-up reel kind of explaining what I felt throughout the week in my overall review, and if I'm continuing with the whitefish. As of right now, I think I'm going to continue with the whitefish. It's been fucking delicious, and it makes me feel pretty good, and it's super easy to eat because if you know how to cook and you can cook fish right, it falls right apart. So it's really good. But that's it. Yeah, man. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe. Like I said, we'll be doing twice weekly uploads, so you'll definitely want to subscribe and so you don't miss a video. That's really it. Yeah. See you guys later. Peace.